We are back with more of Real Estate Update with James Wedgeworth. Well, let's stay on this $4 to $5 to $6 million home issue. And you said there aren't that many oceanfront homes on the market. When I go look on, say, Zillow or Realtor or whatever, there are a few that have been on the market like for 180 days, maybe longer than that, in that price range I'm talking. What the heck's going on?
So what you're saying is, why hasn't that sold when everything else is selling? Okay, here's the way that works. I know the answer to that. Occasionally in our market, we will have people that would call us up and they'll say, hey, I hear the market's good. And they go, yeah, is this a good time to sell? So, it's the best time to sell, and I've been here 41 years. This is the best time to sell. They say, great, I want to put my house on the market. I want to put it on at 6.5. And you go, oh, no. It's worth 5. No, the market's good. I want to put it on at 6.5. I said, it's not worth 6.5. Well, the market's good. I know the market's good. Now's the best time. There is a price that people will pay, and you got to be within some reason. I hear this every day, every time I go talk to somebody. They say, well, why don't we put it on at $8 million or whatever. I said, nobody's going to pay that, or put it on $1 million, no, it's worth 800. So what we should probably tell people, if you price your house within reason, we have the 7-day rule now.
Which is?
Okay, I figured you'd ask that. I tell people, if we put your house on the market and it has not sold in 7 days, you got a problem. In other words, it should sell because you got a lot of people looking and not much inventory. But if it hadn't sold in 7 days, you get a problem. Usually you're too aggressive in your price. But I tell people, if you price your house reasonably, it will sell in 7 days, reasonably.
Yeah, I can believe that right now. Now, here's my question, though. Those people that just hang on there with that price and it sits and sits and sits, maybe it doesn't matter if it sells or not.
Maybe, but here's what I tell people. The longer your house stays on the market, the less you get for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because what people wonder what's wrong with it?
I had somebody call me the other day, said, I got a question about this house over here on such and such street. And I said, yeah, I know the house. And they said, what's wrong with the house? And I said, well, it's a really nice house. It's in great condition. They said, something's wrong with it. It's been on the market 8 days.
8 days? Oh, my goodness.
Really? See, they must have watched my program.
They must. They're listening to you.
My 7 day.
That's crazy.
7 day. That's interesting, though.
Yeah, it is. It's certainly a different world right now. Do you? You don't have a crystal ball, but do you have?
Well, I had one, but my grandson knocked it off the table.
Okay. How long is this going to last?
Oh.
Do we have any indication?
Well, that's actually the number one question I get asked every single day. I can't even. I go to gas my car up, and somebody comes over and says, how long is real estate? I don't even know who they are. How long is the real estate market going to last? We don't know. We do watch inventory daily. The market would continue to be strong as long as there's very, very little inventory.
So if that starts creeping up and we are back here again, you're going to tell me, Allie, we may be going the other direction out of this jubilation of sales or whatever.
It's totally a function of inventory.
Yeah.
Now, there's several things that could happen nationally, politically, stock market. All these things could happen that would affect the real estate sales. And you'll know when you start seeing inventory creeping up.
I wanted to ask you, because we've discussed this before, but the other day, now again, we're taping this towards the end of January, the market fell like 1,000 points. Then then it was 500 down, but then by the end of the day, it was up like 50 or something. Then today I looked and it was up 400 something, but it's like, the back and forth swings are crazy. And what does that do as far as?
Actually, it probably helps us a little. There's no saying that the public does not lack uncertainty. Okay, so if you have a stock market is up 1,000 one day and down 1,000 in an hour the next day, people get a little jittery. So people start looking for what we call safety. Say, what is safe? And I think most people have viewed Hilton Head real estate as somewhat safe because limited supply, great weather, and all those things. So they may tend to spend money on real estate as opposed to investing in the stock market because they're just a little scared. And plus, you and I both know we get emails every day, the stock market is going to crash. I think I've gotten one of those every single day in January from some guru, whatever, is trying to say his newsletter. You know, so.
What about interest rates going up?
I heard this morning on the news that they're concerned about inflation, and they're going to raise interest rates. That's not good news for us. If they raise them just a little, I don't think it will affect our market because they're still, quote, historically low.
Okay, right,
you know?
That's true. That's true.
But if they start raising them every weekly, then that's going to affect the first home buyers' ability to buy.
Oh, yeah.
And in real estate, everything filters up, not filters down. So if the entry level market slows, then the second level and third level will obviously slow.
So you were telling me a story. You have a nice sunburn because you went on a vacation, and you had a little story to tell everybody about who captained your boat and how great the trip
I know
was.
what you're talking about. Okay, my wife and I took our second daughter, our son-in-law, and 4 grandkids to the British Virgin Islands. We're in a sailboat for a week. And this was really interesting. Our captain's a guy named Ken Roy, grew up in Road Town. 30 years he'd been captaining boats. And I mean, we didn't ask for Ken Roy, we just got him. And we started asking Ken Roy, and what they do, this is so interesting. Most of the captains are people that just come down for 4 months. You know, they've never even been to
It's not their community or where they live.
But they're good captains.
Yeah,
they
sure.
understand boating, and it's busy time, so they come down and for 4 months they take people out on boats. And what we realized is we were getting the best of everything. Like we always got the best dockage, we got the best restaurants, we never had to wait in line. Ken Roy knew everybody. So we'd meet other people and they say, why'd you get the dock out here? We're moored out here in the ocean. Well, I mean, Ken Roy knew the dock master, or Ken Roy knew this. And my wife and I were talking about it, and I said we were so fortunate that we got a captain that understood the local market. And I said,
you want to be a captain for people looking,
and
right?
I said, you know, I always tell people, you know, they called about selling real estate, and some of them say, hey, will you come list my house? Gladly I will. But if they just ask for, we're buying a house or we're selling a house in Michigan or whatever, I always say, make sure you're working with an agent that has lots of local knowledge. Like we had a great experience with Ken Roy because he knew everything. These other captains, they didn't know any of those
things. And you are the
things.
Captain Ken Roy of real estate.
You would change my name.
Yeah, no, but it is true because you have been doing this for 40, what is it?
41.
And you know everybody. And
I just outlived the competition.
And I want to tell you something. A woman that I know who does real estate here part of the year and then up in Saratoga, back and forth, she said, I just love James Wedgeworth. She goes, you know, anytime I call him, he always picks up the phone. And if he doesn't pick up the phone, he calls me back within 2 minutes. I said, well, don't most? She goes, no, I can call people, you know, that are in real estate and I won't hear back from them for hours or you know what. So I thought, well, I said, may I tell? Of course, why you'd love to hear that anyway. But she said, I could tell you that. But the accessibility aspect is really important. And you do that. I don't know if you ever take it. Well, you did take a little time off. Did you answer the phone on the boat and do deals? That's what we need to know.
Well, we don't need to get into that. Yeah, but the answer is I actually did a couple, yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But it is important. I mean,
well, thank you. I appreciate it. I blush a little bit.
Well, we can't tell because you have your sunburn from your trip.
Yeah.
In the couple minutes we have left, any advice? If someone actually told me the other day that they were watching us our last program and they were I have to find out why. She just texted me and said, well, we've decided we're going to wait to sell our home. Mm-hmm. And I thought, is that because on another show you said unless you have plan B in place of where you're going to go, you need to do that first. I'm wondering if that was it. Is that still the case?
Yeah,
Obviously.
here's the way it's worked for my first 40 years in real estate. People call me up and say, we want to sell our house. I said, great, where are you going? Well, we got a daughter in New Jersey. We got a son in Pennsylvania. We don't know where we're going, but we'll figure it out. And so, okay, we sell the house and they go figure it out. Now, I tell people, they say, I want to sell my house. Well, where are you going? Well, we don't know. I said, well, where are you thinking? Well, we're thinking about going to New Jersey. We got a son in Delaware. We may go there. And now the advice I give them is you don't sell your home until you have nailed down plan B. Where are you going? What you going to pay? Is there availability?
Right.
Because most markets in the United States are extremely strong. and you don't want to get in a situation where you can't find a place to go. The good news is the reason 30 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you couldn't buy until you sold this one.
Right.
Well, now we know we can sell this one. I'm 100% sure if you price your house reasonably, we'll be able to get it sold, as I said, within a week. So I tell people, make sure you got plan B. Now, I also tell people this, and as I say, my grandson knocked my crystal ball off the chair. I always tell people, if you're thinking about selling your house in the next 2 years, sell it today, because the market is the strongest I've ever seen, and we can sell it. We don't know when it's going to change, but normally what people do is when the market's hot, they don't sell their house. They wait to sell the house till the market's cooled off and it's gone down in value. That's just human nature. Just human nature.
That's going to be your final thought today. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. We want to thank you for watching Real Estate Update, and we'll be back again soon.